HooplaKidz.
Five skeletons were riding on a bus. One fell off and bumped his head, so the driver called the witch, and the witch then said, "No more skeletons riding on a bus. Riding on a bus. Riding on a bus." Four skeletons were riding on a. One fell off and broke the wheel, so the driver called the zombie, and the zombie said,
"Stop the skeletons from riding on the bus."
Three skeletons were riding on a bus. One fell off and broke the horn, so the driver called the monster, and the monster said,
Stop these skeletons from breaking the bus.
"Riding on a bus. Riding on a bus." Two skeletons were riding on a bus. One fell off and broke the seat, so the driver called the coast, and the coast then said,
No more riding.
One skeleton was riding on a bus. He fell off and broke the bus, so the driver called the witch, and the witch then said, "Fix the bus! Fix the bus!" They fixed the bus! All skeletons then fixed the bus, ready to ride it without a fuss. So the driver called the skeletons, and then they said, "Come on, let's ride this bus tonight." Riding on a bus. Riding on a bus.
The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the graveyard. The vampire on the bus says,
Give me some food, give me some food, give me some food,
the vampire on the bus says,
give me some food.
all through the graveyard. The witch on the bus says, "Eat some broccoli soup, eat some broccoli soup, eat some broccoli soup." The witch on the bus says, "Eat some broccoli soup," all through the graveyard. The mummy on the bus says, "Take me to my coffin, take me to my coffin, take me to my coffin." The mummy on the bus says, "Take me to my coffin," all through the graveyard. The skeletons on the bus, they crack their bones, they crack their bones, they crack their bones. The skeletons on the bus, they crack their bones, all through the graveyard. The zombies on the bus go dance, 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 dance. The zombies on the bus go dance, 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 all through the graveyard. The monster on the bus asks,
Where is the driver? Where is the driver? Where is the driver?
The monster on the bus asks,
Where is the driver?
all through the graveyard. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the graveyard.
campsite at midnight. A crazy pumpkin made his way through. Pink skeleton then danced to the groove. Four skeletons went out one night over the hills to grab a bite. A mommy had some bread and soup. Blue skeleton then danced to the groove. Three skeletons went out one night through the forest far from sight. One zombie was making funny moves. Red skeleton then danced to the groove. Two skeletons went out one night over the mansion far from sight. One crazy witch said, "How do you do?" Yellow skeleton danced to the groove. One skeleton went out one night over an island far from sight. A crazy monster asked him to move. Green skeleton then danced to the groove. Five skeletons went to Teehee town, spooking everybody, dancing all around. They met their friends, both Minnie and Len. Time to go, we'll see you again. Five funny skeletons jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. So zombie called the witch, and then she said,
Stop the funny skeletons from jumping on the bed.
Four funny skeletons dancing on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. So the zombie called the witch, and then she said,
Stop the funny skeletons from dancing on the bed.
Three funny skeletons hopping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. So the zombie called the witch, and then she said,
Stop the funny skeletons from hopping on the bed.
Two funny skeletons sliding on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. So the zombie called the witch, and then she said,
Stop the funny skeletons from sliding on the bed.
One funny skeleton sleeping on the bed. He fell off and bumped his head. So the zombie called the witch, and then she said,
Put the funny skeletons back on the bed.
And we're back in the graveyard again?
Len, these skeletons are funny. Do you know what they can do in the middle of the night?
What?
Five skeletons skeletons were sleeping in the grave, and one woke up in the middle of the night. 4 skeletons were jumping on the tree, and one slipped off in the middle of the night. They couldn't stop dancing and laughing out loud, and all of this in the middle of the night. 3 skeletons were sipping green tea, and one burnt his tongue in the middle of the night. 2 skeletons were playing hopscotch. He lost his leg in the middle of the night. They couldn't stop dancing and laughing out loud, and all of this in the middle of the night. 5 skeletons who live by the graveyard love to dance in the middle of the night. 4 skeletons were marching to the beat, and one fell asleep in the middle of the night. 3 skeletons were dancing ding dong, and one played the violin in the 2 skeletons were playing a game of chess, and one started crying in the middle of the night. They couldn't stop dancing and laughing out loud, and all of this in the middle of the night.
Minnie! What happened to the last skeleton?
Len, look! One skeleton went to Teehee town. He never came back. Bye bye, good night.
HooplaKidz.